Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. You can tell by the opposition's behavior, you can assess their desperation or their calm. And obviously they try to hide it, and sometimes they try to overemphasize certain behaviors. Why? Because the art of war is the art of deceiving. So in this case we have President of France, Emmanuel Macron, who is a smart guy, but he's a weasel. And he's doing what he's doing best, being a politician, and tries to shift responsibility, and not only shift responsibility, create scenarios and ignore facts. So that means lying by omission. The FBI is here for me. Talking about Macron. Are you in the same boat with Biden? Not yet. You're swifter than Biden. Not that Biden is swift, but anyway, this article comes from Republic World, September 23rd, 2022. French President Macron warns of, and I'm quoting, crisis of democracies after years of quote-unquote pressure. Now, I read the title and I said, let me see if this is going to fit what I think he's going to talk about. So it's kind of close. He's obviously going to blame others for the misgivings of his governments or the governments of the free world, and the population is able to see through against or pushing back the narrative provided by the mass media, which is in the same boat with them, not with us. So let's see what Macron tries to weasel us here. French President Emmanuel Macron stressed that being open and very cooperative democracies would place pressure on people and could destabilize them. So he says being too open and being too cooperative, that would pressure. So what would be the alternative? Be closed, not open, and not cooperative. And he's talking about governments and the society overall. So that means tyranny? Let's see. French Emmanuel Macron has warned about a crisis of democracies, including in the United States, after years of quote-unquote pressure and destabilization efforts. Okay, by whom? Let's see. He shifts right now the situation created by the leaders, because they lead the country, right? Our representatives, towards some threat. Can you guess who that threat might be? In response to a question regarding American democracy, Macron responded, end quote, start a quote, I worry about all of us. Who's us? Who's all of us? All of us is not you and I. We're not together in this one. It's all of you. So if you talk about I'm afraid of all of you, of us, yes, but not all of us. It's not all of us, because even if all of us, they're the Russians too. They're Iranians too. They're North Koreans too. So are you still how do you call it? Worry about them too. So you have to define who us is first. Speaking to CNN, oh my God, Emmanuel Macron stressed that he hates quote-unquote lecturing people, adding that he believes that what's at stake is what we built in the 18th century. Okay, why did you build it in the 18th century? Because you have certain visions, because the people were the society was ready for such a revolution that was created in France and United States, with the French Revolution and with United States Revolution. Macron warned of a big crisis of democracies and termed them quote-unquote liberal democracies. It's so liberal that you impose so many laws that infringe my liberties. It's unbelievable. Liberty democracies. And you talk about us being too open, and about what would that entail? Narrow. Well, let's go on and see what this guy has to say. Macron warned of a big crisis of democracies and termed them liberal democracies. He stressed that being open and very cooperative democracies would place pressure on people and could destabilize them. So we are so tired that probably someone needs to step in, which is Macron and them, and stabilize us. That means telling us how to live our lives, what to do, because we are just children that don't know what to do, and they have to come and stabilize us because we're too open. They are too open. I think this is the way he says. We are too good and you guys are misbehaving because we do good things for you, and you somehow are just don't understand that, so we need to punish you somehow. By how? By telling you what to do, by infringing this, by infringing that, and keeping you as tyrant subject. He says here that it could, calling it a matter of balance. Who's gonna balance? I want to balance it, not you. I want it. Why you? Or because you're elected? Then do what I tell you to do, because you're my representative. You're not my boss. You see how it goes? Macron stressed that they needed to respond to people's willingness, middle class reference, and progress made by democracy by welcoming different cultures while being open and cooperative. Not necessary. Not necessary. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, like each and every other thing. Like a family. Mommy sometimes is good, mommy sometimes is bad. And what could be more loving than a mommy? So don't tell me about all good and all bad. According to the French president, social media, us, is playing a very important role for what he emphasized it at stake in their democracy for the best of the world. He underscored that fake news, okay, who determines the fake news? I understand fake news, but who are going to be the arbiters? This is the whole point. He's crying that we are too open in exchanging information and knowledge. Yeah, some people lie, some people conflate things, some people, lie by omission, some people, and so on. Some people are just dumb, some people not dumb. We are in the quest of informing ourselves and getting more knowledge, and we make mistakes. Like right now, I'm going to say something that might be, not how should I put it? Not be 100% true, but it's not because I don't want to say what's true. I couldn't find what that is. So when I give my assessments, I give my assessments based on information I have. And sometimes you could be erroneous. You can be wrong. So that means what? You should be banned and put in jail because you spread whatever they say you spread? Who's always right? It's a process it's a learning process. You learn by information, you get an information, and when you get more information, you adjust the conclusion. That's how you get to the truth. You should not talk until you're 80, and at 80 you're supposed to reach all the information available on the market, and until then you should shut the hell up. And then who's talking? Nobody. Do you think Macron never made a mistake? His assessments are based on the 3,000 information he's got, but that's more than 3,000. It's maybe 3 million. But that's all he's got. So we should say, you should not talk because you don't know the whole thing. No, you should talk based on that. And if someone brings more information, you build and get the more understanding of the issue. But no, he says, no. We should, someone has to restrict that. And who's that someone? That's the problem. So he said, he underscored that fake news and new relativism have been driven by social platforms and call it a killer for our democracies. Really? There are some weasels over there. There are some bad dudes, but if counter them. How do you counter them? The truth. Say it. And they want to be the arbiters. That's what it is. Adding that it is completely breaking the relationship to truth, science, and basic of our own democracy, as per the news agency. Expressing his views about the ongoing conflict, Macron said that President Putin is the leader who went to war and decided to escalate. Well, that's a different topic, but he's saying that we are too open, and being too open, we allow people to say things with evil intent. That's true. That's always been, it is, and will always be like this. And I'm telling you why. Because we are not like this phone. This phone is a phone, and that's it. It will not change into sunglasses. Okay, it could be if you just want to see something bigger. You know what I mean? Magnified or anything. But it's not that. The same with us. We're not phones. We're not glasses. This glass, and that's it. We have other feelings. We have other intentions. We have interests. We have limitations. So he wants us to be one. He wants to eradicate lying or fake news. Well, he should start with the mainstream media first, and then he can come towards us. Okay, I think he should start with that. But no, he's not for that. When he said us, is them over there, and they know what to do and how to tell us how to live our lives through the mass media. So basically he says, guys, you're too free. And you know what? We're going to be the arbiters because we know better than you do. Because you're tards. That's true. Some of us are tards. Okay? But still, if you go by freedom, democracy, rights, liberty, democracies, liberal democracies and all that, then you should not try to tell me what to do and how to live my life. Let me be liberty, liberté, freedom. No? Mm-mm. So, okay, this is a weasel. It's very dangerous. That means they are in bad shape. If this guy says that, that means that's the way they think, that they are in trouble. And if you have to defend democracy, maybe democracy is not a value then of the societies. Because it's like people will say, well, we have to defend pedophilia. We got a problem in our society with pedophilia. Everybody's a pedophile. Oh my God, what are we going to do? We have to straighten things out. Well, if that's the society it is, maybe that's the way it is. It's like you say multiculturalism, multicultural. Okay, society. That's some people who say that, but you have a majority. That's a value accepted. How did you get to that? Sometimes through influence, right? Because I didn't wake up in the morning and I said, hey, I think to be multicultural is a great thing. No, you got the newspapers, you got the mass media, you got the schools, you got the politicians, and they do this. And when you're a kid, you got indoctrinated. When you are an adult, you already are formed as, hey, that's a good thing. Why? I don't know. They told me a few things when I was a kid, but I don't remember. But I think it's good. So the same here. If democracy is such a good thing, then let it be. Oh, freedom, too much freedom and liberty and free speech leads to the erosion of democracy because you have fake news. Well, as I said, start with them first and then come towards us. And not you, because I do not appoint you as being my arbiter or arbiter of my life. You are in charge because we voted for you, supposedly. So you're over there to uphold our rights and make our life better, but not tell us, oh, make it better if you shut up a little bit more. And you're the guy in charge of limiting who's saying what and where. No, that's not your job. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.